Uppy, uppy, uppy. It's one funny morning. I'm Dana Blizzard, and it's too early in the morning. This is the dumbest show in the whole world.
From Monday
to Friday.
Sometimes on Saturdays.
Why would you say that in front of all these people?
Dean stinks.
You never know what's gonna happen.
That's your Dateline voice?
I don't know.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't.
It's not a chicken leg. This is a chicken leg.
Look at that manhole cover on my face.
Not a bad rendition of me. Hold on.
We know your brother. We'll give you a ride to school or whatever.
That's called
our
murder
stuff.
in New Jersey.
He was a lot
Like what is?
with his everything.
Oh,
What's outside your Puerta de Clima?
that's Stella! Yeah.
Hi, Dina. My name's April. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania, and I'm in Aldi. I'm in the aisle of shame, which is full of Valentine's Day stuff and empty shelves because tomorrow's Wednesday, so that must be true. I saw that this morning on the live. Although my favorite thing from Aldi is, I like the aisle of shame, but my favorite thing to get at Aldi are these 3-wick candles. They're huge. They're $4.49. You can find them in the cleaning aisle with the paper towels and the plastic bags and things like that. Have a good day.
What great tips. That was live. That was April live from the Aldi Aisle of Shame. Wouldn't it be great if we could just go live? That's what it felt like. April did such a good job. So that was April Natural joining us live from the Aldi's aisle. So, girl, it's Friday. It's Friday. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody who wants to go back to bed? It's morning. Bom dia. Is that a good day? I hope so. No. Thanks, Jeannie. So first things up is the hair. Let's talk about it. I feel like we're getting very close to what my hair is actually going to look like. It's a lot. Can we just do it? I went yesterday. So I went yesterday and I see my hairdresser, Allison, and I'm looking at her and I was like, why do you look different? I was like, well, what's happening? And she said, and her hair, I said, why does your hair look different? You know, when you see somebody, you're like, what's different? I know something's different. And she says, I'm growing my hair out. I'm growing my silver out. And I was like, what? And she looks beautiful. I mean, she's just starting and she got her highlights in to kind of help with the transition, the whole thing. And so she looks beautiful. I was like, we're going to do it together. So we were talking hair yesterday. So she was like, I can't get all of it. So there's probably like this part is left. So probably 1 or 2 more haircuts, depending on when I go back. But yeah, this apparently is my face. There is a curly top here just at the ends. So yeah, it'll take a little bit, probably some up here too. So it's coming along. We'll see. That's a lot of silver, you guys. So I still feel like I have to figure out how to do it. I went to see cousin Danielle yesterday. No silver for me. Oh, let's talk about hair. I'm about to chop it off. Julian, send me a picture. I haven't seen you. I want to see what it looks like. Julian is on her silver journey with me. We were doing it together. But Julian's got her super cute pixie cut. So I would think that yours would be like done by now, Julian. I'll have to wait to see you. So do you have a lot of... No, Kelly. And that's what's so funny. So here's what's so crazy, right? Because Allison was like, I'm still waiting to find out. Because when you're just starting, you don't know what your pattern is. She's like, Dina, all I have are temples, which is, she said, what most people have is just this temples, which you can see mine are like most people, like streaks, right? She says, but I don't think I have much on the top. She said, you have a couple streaks on your top. She said, I don't think I have that. So she might just create them because she's a hairdresser. But once you get past this crown part of my head, it's just salt and pepper. There's like no big streaks in the back. It's just so weird. Like I literally am my mom. This is my mom. Like from like here back on my mom. But this is my dad. His whole side of the family is like white. So it's just really funny how it'll be about 2 minutes. Really short for me, but about to just go off the deep end. Junie and I bet it'll be beautiful. Oh, Lori said, I need some good juju and prayers. I'm going to find out in 1 hour and 15 minutes if my daughter is accepted to internship for her doctorate. That's so exciting. I love natural hair. To me, the color is usually too harsh against the skin as we mature, in my opinion. I know some people say they will color until they can't do it anymore. Yeah. I feel like I just woke up one day with gray hair. I don't even remember a transition, said Lorene. Right? It's so funny. And then there's like some people that we've met here that I only know you as silver. So to me, that's like, that's your color. I don't know any, it's just funny. It's funny. I have all around my face 4 inches is white gray. Everything else is blonde gray. I used to be a redhead. Wow. It's better to go gray than bald, said Rusty. Be grateful. Done. Yeah, Tanya, when I look at you, I don't see any gray. Silver. And I'm trying to get my straightener back from Brooke because she borrowed stuff. Let me just ask you this. This is just a me question. Does anybody, when your child, daughter, son, steals something from you and promises they're going to give it back, and then they don't, does anybody start out at what we'll call DEFCON 1, which is slight annoyance, and then go to feel like I'll murder you? Does anybody, like, I remember, like, I had a charger at my house for my phone. Remember, it was right by the island. And I put it there, and I would like it to be there all the time. And then I'd come out and I would go to a full utter rage. Does anybody else rage when people just keep taking their things? Adia would love that. I told her, I said, I'm just going to go buy a new hair straightener. Am I the only one that wants to murder? Like, I think, yeah, indefinitely. That's what I said, Allison. I said, should we just call this your birthday present? Because I don't know, Bob. I don't know what it is. My son borrows my husband's tools, doesn't return them, makes my husband so angry. Rage. And I've said to her face, please stop. My daughters take everything of mine. My daughter got me a new suitcase for my birthday. She borrowed it. I haven't seen it for 6 months. All the time, fam farm. All the time. Yeah, no. And then you're all saying, oh, at least the other 2 moved out. They can't steal from you. No, they steal it and they take it to another state. They took the camera. They took my camera and then moved to another state. And I was like, do you have my camera? My sister borrows my stuff and then somehow it's hers. I do that to my sister. Remember 2 Christmases ago, she let me borrow her shirt. You know what I did? Shikendra, I borrowed her shirt for our Christmas show or something. It's really cute. I looked really good. And so I kept it. And she asked about it. And then I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I gave it back to her for Christmas. I wrapped it. And I mean, I got her a real present, but I wrapped it. And I put it in a bag and I gave her shirt back. That was part of the gifts. And she was like, is this my shirt that you took? I was like, let's not say it that way. I buy something to replace what they did is because they lost the original they took from me. The cycle never ends. The cycle never ends. Very upset, Kim. Yeah. My kids borrow stuff all, including Amazon Prime. I just borrow their credit cards they have on my account and just buy what they never return. That sounds like a good one. The dark green one. I shouldn't give it back. Hopefully she gives it back to me for Christmas next year. My daughter steals my socks every day. It drives me crazy. I put out my socks, swear, for the next day, and every morning they're gone. After asking 3 times, I lose my crazy mind. It is. I texted her yesterday. I said, Brooke, I want my hair straightener. It's been 2 weeks. Something like that, Allison. And I literally texted her. I said, I'm done. I don't appreciate this. I gave a nice speech via text. And then she came over for dinner last night. And I said, can I have my hair straightener? She goes like this. I said, you still didn't bring it to dinner. Yeah. Cleaned out my daughter's room, found all the tweezers. She swore up and down. What is it with daughters and tweezers? What are they doing? 7 pairs of tweezers. I just keep behind them. I keep thinking, did I keep losing these? And then you go into a kid's room, all your tweezers. I can't. My mom and aunt used to have a bracelet that they used to give to each other for Christmas. That sounds fun. Please stop. Booby. Absolutely. I painted the inside of my phone charger. Nailed her when she said it was hers. Yeah. My son stole my tweezers. He tweezes his eyebrows. He does. Do guys care? Maybe they do. I don't know. Yeah. So funny. Anywho, we have a great guest today. Before we get to our guest, I thought we could hit one of our questions. Judy. So let's talk about Booby and her allergies. So she has been on her special medicine, special food for a few days, and she gets the probiotic. It's helped a little. I'm going to say maybe let's give it a week, to get it out of her system, the chicken, whatever it was. Lulu has an appointment today, so I'll talk to the vet today and see. But we have not crossed over into a no licking zone. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go to our questions. Here we go. So we were in the midst of taking 36 questions that lead to love. We did the first section. We cried through the second half of the first section. Now we talked about a crystal ball. If you could learn anything about your life, if there's something you dreamed of for a long time and why haven't you done it? Okay. All right. It's very simple. Are you ready for today's question? It's easy, I think. Here it is. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? The greatest? You're only going to pick one? Mooney, what would be the greatest accomplishment of your life? That's the question. Greatest accomplishment of my life. Maybe it's not that easy. My kids, my son, my kids, having my kids. my son, my kids. You're not allowed to count your kids. No, you're all saying the same thing. And then if anybody says, what if somebody came in and said money? No, stop it. No, it can't be your kids. You're all saying, Jennifer said 12 years sober. Good. Now we're getting somewhere. Don't say finding the right guy. Boom. Living on my own, making it work. Boom. Me, post-divorce. Boom. Whole life, Shakendra. Whole life. Graduating nursing school. Boom. Learning to think about my needs sometimes. Boom. I retired at 45. Boom. Can't say your kids. Being a person who people can rely on at any time. Accepting Christ in my 30s. Being teacher of the year for my province. If we can't say kids, then nothing. Leanne, stop it. You're being sassy too early in the morning, Leanne. Think of something. I became an RN, got a degree in physiology, and worked in critical care for 40 years. Yeah. Thank you, Rusty. Staying out of jail. Learning to not react and keeping my peace. Reinventing myself after 20 years divorce. Having bariatric surgery, lost 140 pounds. Surviving divorce. Getting out of an emotionally abusive marriage. My daughter, raised her alone. Now she's great with 2 kids. Great, Carol, come with someone else. I'll accept being a single mom. I'll accept that. But it can't be that you just used your vagina. That can't be. College degree. No one can ever rip it or steal it. My 40-year marriage. Getting my RN. If not kids, then weight loss. Good. My kids, why not? Laura, because here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to take for granted that all of us take great pride in caring for someone. Children, maybe an aging parent. I think, this list is about the 36 questions that lead to love. But when I read them and we answer them together, I actually think that some of these questions are more about learning yourself and loving yourself. I'm getting real deep. I'm going deep at 8:53 because I don't know, maybe it's because I'm at a place in my life where, yeah, I did that. I raised all my kids, but I'd like to feel that I have more in me than just that. And I think all of you do. And I think you have an amazing things to be proud of. Great accomplishments. So I'm going to take for granted that everybody has somebody they're proud that they helped raise. I'm go deeper. Go deeper. Making it through a divorce and getting a master's degree. Surviving divorce from a controlling guy. Fighting through a bad marriage. Leaving a my adult children are great people. Wonderful. Come up with someone else. Becoming an EMT. Caregiver to my mom who turns 995 today. Now, Lisa's drunk. Now, how do I know? Lisa, just the years of dedication that you've put in, I think you win today. And let's celebrate your mom because at 995, she must look amazing. As you as well. Getting nationally board certified elementary ed. Running a respite facility for kids with special needs for 23 years. Leaving my abusive dad and one of my own after my mom died. Retired at 56 and love it. Raising my daughter by myself at the age of 17. My mom died at 19, so living without her for 45 years. Potty training my new puppy. Being a college grad and a comedian. Being a friend I would want to have. Being married almost 32 years to my one and only. Making a difference with students and teachers. Rode my bike over the Verrazano Bridge during a bike-a-thon. Putting myself through college and grad school on my own. Switching careers in my 50s. Being proud to take care of my elderly parents. Getting my pharmacy tech license even though I don't use it. Surviving cancer 5 times. Not murdering people. Listen, to me, these are so interesting. I feel like feel like it's important to know who you are besides being somebody's mom. I take great pride in it, obviously. But there's so many things. What are we talking about? We're talking about, what do you think is your greatest accomplishment? Learning to stand up for myself, fighting cancer, not becoming bitter, working with special needs kids for 13 years, no longer a people pleaser, quitting 3 packs a day smoking. I'm so proud of you, Mooney. Finally doing me and being with a guy I've loved since I was 12. Not giving up on myself after a very painful chronic condition. Getting up in front of people. Learning to stand up for myself, how to say no. What about 2 C-sections? Fine, I'll take it, Kezia. But Kezia, I think there's more to you. Nick, of course. Thanks, Darlene. Beating cancer, being able to say no. Raising my 15-year-old daughter who has 3 open heart surgeries in her life so far. Starting a new career at 40 plus. Getting out of an abusive relationship and learning how to be me again. Taking care of my mom during the last 3 months of her life. Rebound after my divorce. I've got nothing at 67. Cindy, we're going to wait for this. Cindy, here's the thing, is that the greatest accomplishment is just something that was super meaningful to you. It doesn't mean that you had to, jump off out of an airplane or do this or that. It was just something that you just was always on your bucket list, and you got to do it. And you're like, I was so proud of myself. Like, I really pushed myself. It was something I always wanted to do. Those things are so important. No, Jim Wagner, I refuse to believe that. Being on a 582-day streak of Duolingo. See, I'm so proud of you. Divorced at 60, retired at 60, took custody of my 11-year-old granddaughter for 20 years. The day she got married, I bought a trombone and started beginning lessons. A whole new life now. What a great story. Being comfortable in my own skin, which has taken decades. Beating a gambling addiction. Yeah, being a certified birth doula. Buying my own house after divorce. Cindy, I don't like this kind of attitude, Cindy, and I would like you to turn it around. I'm going to need you to come to me with something. Another Cindy, divorcing my ex after being unhappy for 17 years. He lost all of his money in the stock market behind my back. Girl. Getting clean and sober and celebrating 9 months after an almost lifetime of addiction. Robin, that's so beautiful. Yeah. 55, being married for the first time in my life. Yeah. This is about digging deep with something you appreciate about yourself or you have pride in. Getting a picture I took published, and it was in the OFM calendar. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe because of where I am right now, I think it would be me choosing to start over. I don't know. I've said this before. I don't know if I think it's a great accomplishment because I don't know how this ends. But I think that taking the steps to start myself on this journey was probably a thing. It'll be interesting to see how that story ends. I'm sure there are a lot of people somewhere in that journey and wondering the same. So for all those people that were a part of it, thank you. Yeah, I didn't realize how many things I was proud of. Good for you. Hold on. Yeah, well, good. I think I would love to take those steps, but I don't have the courage. Yes, you do, Yes, you do. Being willing to have people take pictures of me. Rita, good for you. I know a lot of people. That's like a thing. Mm-hmm. There you go, Cindy. I got one. Dina Blizzard read my comment to the world, so I'm sort of famous. I'll take it, Cindy. Yeah, listen, I think everybody is on a journey. I took my newborn nephew when my brother wasn't able to take care of him at the time, said Tiffany Hall. Yeah. Learning I could live on my own without a man. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Linda. Well, good. Listen, I think these questions have been interesting. And if you didn't have an answer right now, just think about it today. If somebody asked you, what is the greatest accomplishment of your life? Of all the things that you've done in your life, I feel like all of us can look back. And I imagine that, depending on what age people asked you that, like if people asked you, what's your greatest accomplishment? And you were still in your 20s, what would your answer have been? And then what would your answer be when people asked you in your 30s and then 40s and then 50s and 60s? And I think the wonderful thing about taking a risk or putting yourself out there or doing something kind of crazy that you didn't think you could do is that you'll either make it or you won't. But you still live, and you realize that sometimes as you get older, it's easier to take more risks. So you're like, you know what? I did it, and I did it. I accomplished this goal, or I didn't do it, and I'm still alive. I made it. And I think there's something really important that comes with old lady age and time that we all learn about ourselves. And we're like, yeah, we can just try things and see what happens, and it all ends well. So, yeah, learning how to navigate IEPs on my own to advocate for my son. Well, good for you. Raising 2 boys when my husband was deployed in the Middle East, saving the world. Mm-hmm. Raising my grandson, who is an amazing young man, has intellectual disabilities, and is now working in a good, steady job. I think that's lovely. Mm-hmm. Good for you guys. Boy, I love these chats. Yeah, well, good for you guys. Well, listen, I think that having this conversation about greatest accomplishments is great because I think that, again, we can kind of look at different points in our life and say, like, yes, I took a risk here. Yes, I took a risk here. Tried this thing. And our guest today knows this very well because I'm about to read his resume, and it is everywhere. His list of accomplishments are a little bit of everything when it comes to entertainment and has spanned a very long time. I can't wait to hear all his stories. But he's very funny. He's going to be performing at Helium Comedy Club. Let me tell you about him. Rhys Darby is an actor, writer, podcaster, and stand-up comedian from New Zealand. He first captured U.S. audiences as Murray in HBO's Flight of the Conchords. He's gone on to star in a plethora of TV and film roles, from Yes Man and Pirate Radio to Nigel in the Jumanji reboots. On the small screen, he has brought his talents to animations like Voltron, Legendary Defender, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and shows like TBS's Wrecked, The X-Files, and Lemony Snicket. He's also starred in Our Flag Means Death and can currently be seen in the new Tubi original comedy Z Suite. Rhys, never far from his stand-up roots, his stand-up has been described as a sensational blend of sound effects, characterizations, and askew observations. He's had 5 stand-up specials, including This Way to Spaceship, based on his debut novel of the same name. He is excited to return to the stage after almost a decade with his new show, The Legend Returns. And in between his huge adventures, Darby is based in Los Angeles with his family, where he likes to hike, eat tacos, and explore the world. So please help me welcome to the stage, Rhys Darby. Hey, Rhys.
How exhausting that sounds, all of that stuff.
It is. It's so exciting, though. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So are you up super early in LA right now for us?
No, I'm in New York.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. We got in last night. Performing this weekend.
Good. Well, we're so happy to have you. I was going to say, there's so many things that you've done, Rhys. I was like, where do you start? Like, which box do you feel like you most fit into? Are you more in the actor box or the stand-up box? Like, where or the movie box? Like,
Yeah, it's definitely comic actor. I would say is my main box. I started as a comedian. I was in a comedy duo back in 1995, and then I started doing solo stand up from 99 through till now. But the journey's taken me from New Zealand to the UK, and then into the acting world, which is what I really wanted to get into, and then so over to LA and Hollywood, and where I now live in Los Angeles with my wife and one kid there, one kid up here in New York at university. So yeah, the journey continues.
Nice. Well, all the ladies in the comments just saying they love your accent. Do women just swoon when they hear you speaking?
I guess some people like it. Yeah, it's weird for me, of course. It's just my voice, but I guess it's a little different, and it comes with this very strange, silly man attached to it.
I love it. Now, I was actually watching the clip. Was it from a few days ago where you were talking about how people think your accent is English? It was on another podcaster's thing that you were just on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in America, sometimes the Americans don't have the greatest ear for where an accent comes from.
No, we don't know. But you're a New Zealand guy, born and raised.
That's right.
And do you know anything? What is it? Hoka? What is it? What is the thing that you guys do? The song?
Oh, the haka.
Haka. Have you ever done a haka?
I think I may have done one once, but yeah, a lot of people do them these days. But I'm a bit older, and we didn't really. The school I went to, I don't remember doing one. It was definitely and it's an indigenous dance, if you will, but it's like a war dance. So it's done before our big rugby matches. Our famous rugby team, the All Blacks, they do it all around the world. So it's to incite fear into the enemy. It was done during wartime, obviously, back in the day. So now it's kind of like a celebration, and it's all about the strength, or mana, as we say in New Zealand, of individuals coming together to show power and might in any situation.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful to watch. And it's funny too, Rhys, because I've only ever, for a long time, ever saw men doing it. And then you see women do it, and they're even more badass. You're like, oh, they're so great. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. Now, is your wife from New Zealand as well?
She is. Yes, she's from Nelson in the South Island. So there's two major islands, obviously, in New Zealand. So I'm from the north, she's from the south, and we got together, and now here we are outside of the country, spreading the love of New Zealand.
I love it. Now, were your kids born in New Zealand or born in America?
So one was born in London, actually, and the second one was born in New Zealand. Yeah.
I was going to say, and do they have accents, or have they assimilated here into American culture? You said one's in university.
Yeah, they switch between. When we go home, they sound very Kiwi, but when they're over here, they're very American sounding. They've still got a little bit of difference to them, so people can tell. It makes them interesting. Yeah, very cool. Now, in the roles that you've played, have you had to take on kind of like an American? Can you speak? I could probably do one with a bit of practice, but really I haven't had to. No, I've always been able to use my voice. It's kind of the thing that I stick to as a Kiwi. I get to do many, roles, whether it be through all the animated world or in the live action world. And I play characters that are usually the other, either from somewhere else or from another world. So I'm kind of like, I've stuck to my guns, because, a lot of people come over from the South Pacific or Australia, and they change their accents, and they just become an American actor. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure that my voice was heard in the world. And if you don't do that, then you don't get enough of your culture put out there on the screen for the world to see. And there are people from all over the world living everywhere. It's a melting pot these days, and I think it's important to stick to your own accent.
I love that. I love that. So you were talking about the animated. That's you and your sound effects are such a huge part of what you do. So you said you started with this comedy team in '95, then went on your own. When did you start kind of weaving in, and how did you figure out that is this something you did since you were a kid?
Yeah, it is. It's something I thought everyone could do, but it turns out I've got a special talent for it, which is just being able to make weird noises. I guess it came from playing as a kid, doing the helicopter sounds and police sirens and whatnot. Right. And then I ended up doing, using a microphone on stage, and I realized I can amplify these things and make them sound pretty good. Robots, I can do like mechanical sounds. I started to think maybe I was some sort of bird in my previous life with the amount of mimicking I can do.
Really? That's so amazing. And so that obviously came first, but you do a tremendous amount of voice work, like the cartoons you were saying. Like, how did you get into that work?
Always wanted to get into voice work because once again, I've got this unique talent, this voice that, has many layers to it. So I can change it. And I always felt I'd be perfect for cartoon voices of little creatures and things like that. So eventually I did get in there in Los Angeles with Disney taking me on. I was in what was the show? Jake and the Neverland Pirates. I was a penguin from Antarctica, and then that was basically the door opening for me. People liked the sound of me in that, and then I got various other jobs. And now I think I've just about done every animation ever created. I've been very, very fortunate with this voice, and I think a lot of it is how you embody voice work, because it's not just your voice. You've actually got to. It's a unique kind of job where you're not just reading what's on the page inside a studio. You do have to become that character, and it's very physical. So I even though it's an audio job, you kind of embody this thing, and you have to make the words feel alive. So there's a skill to it.
So somebody said that penguin was my favorite character. I watched it with my nephew.
Oh.
And somebody said Rhys's helicopter is on point. Can you make some sounds for us? Would you mind?
I'll give you a helicopter. I don't know how good it will be over the internet.
All right, let's see.
You'll see me do it. Here we go.
Awesome. Kids must love you. I would love it. I would love to have like fun Uncle Rhys and just sit around.
Yeah.
You.
It's a thing. I've done a lot of stuff with kids, and we've got plenty of kids in our family and our extended family, and it's a joy. It brings me joy to bring joy to all ages.
That's awesome. And so tell me about this Tubi series, the Comedy Suite. That's what's just been.
That's on right now. Yeah, I think 4 episodes are out of that one. So it's basically it's about 2 generations, really. It's about my generation. I think Lauren Graham plays the lead, and she's running she's the top ad exec in the advertising firm, and it's about the young generation coming through and swooping all the jobs, which is kind of thing that happens these days. And it's the Z generation, the young people who want things now and don't want to have to put in the effort. And so, she kind of loses her job and has to start again fresh, starts up her own agency. I play a person that she knows from back in the day that was in the same agency as her, and I ended up screwing up. I'm like a bad boy, and I got kicked out of the agency, started up my own one, but because I've got these mad advertising skills, I guess they're creatives. I ended up doing really well in my own agency, so I ended up competing with her and out in the wide world, and she knows me, and I'm a bit of a snake, a bit of it's a fun role for me because I normally play very hapless, lovable idiots. So I think this guy's definitely still a bit of an idiot, but he's kind of a bit misogynistic, a bit kind of, he wears too much jewelry. You've met these people in the advertising world who kind of, they're a different type. So it's fun to sort of portray those people in the modern world.
I'm trying to see if I can find a picture of you as this character because you're describing it.
Yeah, his name is like Buffy Benet.
Buffy Benet. Let's see. Buffy.
Buffy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Buffy Benet.
He's got good hair.
So funny. I love that you say hiya.
He's got good hair.
Hiya. Oh, Michelle put a clip to it. You can watch Z Suite on Tubi, so you guys can check it out.
It's funny. Yeah, I was really happy with it. There's really good comic actors in there and stuff. So
yeah. So now, how long have you lived in the U.S. in Los Angeles?
So the longest I've lived anywhere apart from New Zealand, because we do get around. It's been over a decade now.
Wow.
So my youngest one has done all his schooling there. We did go back to New Zealand during the pandemic for 2 years, just because the things were crazy, so we escaped. But yeah, now we're back.
And what's been like, what would you say are the biggest differences? Like, what would I notice if I went to New Zealand? What would be completely different than how we do things here?
I think culturally we tend to do a lot of stuff ourselves rather than get a guy in to do it, as the term is. Like, so we
like plumbing and stuff.
Americans, yeah. Well, I mean, we do have all that kind of stuff, but we're very hands-on people. There's not many of us, and we're quite innovative, and so we like doing things with our hands. It's quite a rural lifestyle. You know, everyone has a bit of land or something. There is, you know, we have. It's similar in many ways, but I would say the food is better. It's less processed than American food.
Everybody's less processed.
Yeah.
You guys
I don't know what else. It's too early in the morning for me to think.
Well, let me ask you this. So there's a lot of ladies on here, Rhys, who, you know, might be in the dating range, older dating range, maybe 45, 50 plus dating range. Like, what are fellas from New Zealand like? What are you guys known for? Like, what would we like you? I think we would, just based on the accent, but like, would we like you?
I think we're practical people. Like I said, we're quite hands-on, so we will fix things. We will, we like getting out in the shed and making stuff, providing. You're just laughing at my accent.
You just said shed. I thought you were cursing. I was like, oh, he said shed.
Oh no, shed.
Shed.
SHAD. And we're sporty. We're outgoing, outdoors people. New Zealand is known for its outdoor activities. So we do a lot of kayaking and hiking.
Somebody said you guys have rugby thighs. They're just putting little.
Oh, yep. Some of the definitely. I don't really have rugby thighs myself. I've got big calves though.
All right. Now, Carrie just said, oh no, it was Katie. She said, when I went to New Zealand, there was a snowstorm, an earthquake, and a volcanic eruption. Is this popular?
Yeah, that's yeah. We have quite a volatile place, and that's why it's so topographically beautiful. You know, we've got mountains and gullies and many rivers, Lord of the Rings, and it's because our whole country is on a fault line. So we do have earthquakes. We had devastating earthquakes in the past. Wow. And we've had volcanic eruptions on some islands and things. There's lots of little islands in New Zealand. We haven't had any major volcanic eruptions on our big islands at all, but not for many years. So yeah, it can be a dangerous place, a beautiful place. It's risky, but it's also far from everywhere. So
yeah, I was gonna say. So from Los Angeles back to New Zealand, is that like 2 days?
No, that's about 11 hours 45 minutes.
Yeah, That's 2 days. That's how long it would take me to recoup from what.
Yeah, oh, it will. Yeah,
That's so funny. So now tell me, so this is this tour that you're on now is kind of your journey back to stand up. So why head back to stand up now? Is it just something you feel like you need to do?
Yeah, two reasons. Mainly, the TV and film industry seems to be in a bit of a flux right now, ever since the strikes and then the advent of AI, which has really taken a lot of jobs, and a lot of people have actually left Hollywood because the work is just not there.
Wow.
So there's a real hole now, kind of missing, and what normally we would have pilot seasons and there'd be so many jobs and so many shows being made. Now that's, there's about a fourth of that happening.
Wow.
So, there's less work for me. And also the other part of it is that, thank goodness, I am a comedian as well. And so I do have that other skill. I can get back on stage, and I've built up a bit of a following in the US in the last 10 years for people to know who I am, at least in the small comedy circles. So I've been on the road here doing my stand-up, getting my 1 hour show together, and I finally do have it pretty much together now. And I decided to get back on the international circuit, and so I'm going to tour, because that's where I'm really known, back in New Zealand, Australia. I'm doing a full extended tour there in April, and then Ireland and the UK for all of June. And so my plan there is, when you do a stand-up tour, you do take off like 4 or 5 months, and that's off your calendar. So if any TV or jobs or any big film things came in, I would be like, I can't do it. So it's a certain thing to do. But I thought, the way the world is right now, we do need live comedy. We do need human interaction. We need to get out of our screens and go out and see each other and make each other laugh, because the world is a terrible place right now. And so I felt there was an element to that of the universe telling me I need to get back into it. And it's been like 8 years since I've done a big show around the place. So yeah, it was just the right time. And I hope people come along.
Oh, I'm sure they are, because our people are from everywhere, so they'll look up when you're going to be in their area.
Oh, good.
So your hat is Cryptic Factor.
Oh, Cryptid Factor.
Cryptid
Yeah,
Factor.
that's my podcast.
You have this whole other side of you. Tell everybody about that part.
Well, that's a long-running podcast. It's been going since 2008, and it's about cryptozoology, which is the study of non-classified or hidden animals that may or may not exist. And the classics in the US would be like Sasquatch. You've heard of El Chupacabra, which is the goat sucker. This possibly an alien. That's what it stands for.
What did you call it? What is the name you called it? I don't know that name.
Chupacabra. Some of the listeners, you would have heard of this thing. So there's these creatures that people say they see, and there's a lore with them. Where they come from, what they do. You've got sea monsters, you've got basic lake monsters like the Loch Ness monster. Every country has a list of creatures that some people believe are out there, and so for me,
it's talk about it like with experts. Like, who are you talking?
Yeah, we talk about it with people, with our other cryptozoologists who go out and look for these things. We have eyewitnesses who talk about it. But here's the thing: it's a funny podcast. Okay, so we might believe in this stuff, which is silly sometimes to think to believe in, but also we have fun with it, and we also talk about the weird world news. Every year every week there's bizarre stories of things that are happening to people, and we find those on the internet and we discuss them. So it's kind of like a fun. We go into UFOs, UAPs, that kind of stuff.
What's a UAP?
So. That's
UAP?
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Obviously.
That's the new term for UFOs.
Oh.
So, remember those drones over New
those were
Jersey?
Yeah.
Things like that, things that people see and they want to discuss. It's all of those things. TikTok is full of all of those things. So yeah, we kind of have an open mind, and we chat about things. People have had some weird ghost experiences, anything paranormal as well.
Well,
so,
Candace said, what's your favorite cryptid or one he wants to see or has seen?
Yeah, my two favorites are the Yeti, which is the sort of, or abominable snowman, they used to call it, which is basically the Himalayan mountains version of Bigfoot, which is, thought to be a primate, but is more likely to be a large bear that walks on its hind legs. And the other one is, I like the chupacabra because it is possibly an alien. And as the name suggests, goat sucker, it actually sucks the blood out of animals and leaves them like chickens have been left for dead. And we've gone and seen one of these in Austin, Texas. This lady, she captured one. She captured an animal that sucked all the blood out of her chickens, and she stuffed it. And I know that when I say that, people are just laughing at my accent. But she did taxidermy. She got it taxidermied. And it's a really weird looking creature. It's a cross between like a blue wolf and a coyote, but it's got no fur. It's just got hide. So it's got elephant hide on it. And it's got these weird nodules on its bum. And it hasn't harmed any humans, but she lost a lot of chickens.
So the blog is called Cryptid Factor. It's every week.
Well, when we can get to it, because there's three of us that host it. One's in New Zealand, I'm in LA, and the other guy's in London. So we do it as often as we can, but it's not usually weekly. But if you look it up on Spotify, there's over 100 episodes there for the folks to go and check it out. It's just a fun time.
You're so funny. Do you ever look at the breadth of the things you've created and been like, they're just so different? I mean, there's just no box for you, Rhys. That is for sure.
Yeah, I know.
You're like, that Rhys, he's this. You're like, no, Rhys could be whatever he wants to be.
Yeah, I think that's it. I've just been able to do whatever I want to do, and I never fitted myself into a box. And I think that's the fun of kind of being alive, is just, be yourself. And I just happen to be a little weird, I guess. But it's, as long as you're a nice person and you put out good energy to the world, it should come back to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's next on your horizon? Any other kind of crazy things that...
Well, I've got this big tour, that's starting in March. So that's really my next focus, New Zealand, Australia, and then the UK and Ireland, and then possibly Edinburgh as well, in Scotland. Yeah. And we'll, it's, how life is right now. You just got to take each day as it comes and see what's happening on the planet.
Yeah.
So I'll just spread mirth and do my physical comedy and do my funny sound effects.
I love that.
Keep people happy, and then we'll see what happens.
And just so you know, for the rest of my life, I will remember this, because I will now only refer to March as March.
Yes, March.
March. I've never said March as March. January, February, March.
April.
No, it's really good. Now, we start in our little community. We're here every day. We have this morning show. And there was this article I found, Rhys, that said it was 36 questions to ask. Let me see. Let me make sure I read it right. It was 36 questions that lead to love. And it was put out by the New York Times by this couple, both psychologists. And they had done some research. And as you read these questions, they become more and more kind of intimate. And these are questions you're supposed to be asking your person, right? But we've been asking them just in our community, just to, find love for ourselves or whatever, or get to know each other. So today's question I'm going to ask you, because you're all over the place, I'd love to hear what your answer is. The question today was, if you were getting to know somebody, and they asked you, what's your greatest accomplishment? What one thing would you say?
It's a great question.
It is.
Especially with me, with all my accomplishments.
I know. I don't know what you're going to answer.
My greatest accomplishment. I think my greatest accomplishment is getting myself, my inner being, who I am, the positivity of my creativity out to the world. Okay, so like I left my town, I left my country, I got out, I've traveled, and that's an accomplishment in itself. But to spread the joy and just the fun sense of humor that I think humans need, to be able to spread my own personal creativity to the world and get it out there and have people, relish it. That's my greatest accomplishment.
All these ladies just fell in love with you. They just love it, Rhys. You're so good. You're so good.
Oh, thank you.
Well, listen, this has been such a pleasure. Thank you for getting up this morning and joining us and telling us your story and your wonderful journey. I think it really is wonderful to meet artists who are able to do the things that they love and bring joy to people. It sounds like you're doing that a little bit every day. So thank you for sharing it. And if you'd like to see Rhys, you can see him at Helium this weekend. He will be there, and check out his website, find out when he's going to be near you as well. You can also check him out on Tubi, all of the things. But thank you so much, Rhys. I wish you the best this weekend and on your journey and all of your touring. It sounds like it'll be amazing.
Thank you so much. And all the best, everyone. And let's keep being positive.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Rhys. I'll see
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye. Oh my gosh. How lovely is he? Make sure you go and check out all of the links that Michelle shared. And he just seems like super positive energy, and it'll be a great show, whatever you're watching. I know we've had some great guests this week. Rhys can also be seen in the 2025 movie Love Hurts coming out. So yeah, we do. We have good people that you can follow. They're, kind of sharing a little bit of themselves and their talents. So hopefully he'll bring some joy to you. And honestly, the voice work he does is so stellar. If you get a chance, you can check out some of his clips as well. So that's it for us, everybody. Thanks for watching. As always, hold on one sec. They're fixing something in the house. And we'll see you guys, like Judy from Saskatoon and Good Time Andrea say, go smile, go watch Rhys, go laugh. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday morning. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed today's morning show, make sure to follow us for more One Funny Mother content.
Okay, all right. Morse code is tapping.
And check out OneFunnyMotherStore.com for great new inappropriate swag. And for more exclusive content, consider becoming a supporter.
She got a bad leg.
Thanks again, and we'll see you tomorrow on One Funny Morning.